On today's episode of Why Am I Filming After Midnight, we are going to be delving into the TBR February. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to read books only on my Kindle. So I put a randomizer on my TBR, and obviously I took off the books that I physically own already, and I also took out series because when I start a series, I want to finish it. And I don't think I could get 5 series completed in the month. And I also don't like to limit myself with how many books I read in a month, whether it's over what I plan or under what I plan. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But not only that, not only am I going to be just reading Kindle books, but for 5 of them, I really wanted to make them Native American stories and or written by Native American authors. And it's very important to me, as you can see. But apart from those 5, I wanted to randomize 5 more just in case if I get through those quickly and I don't know where else to go. So I'm going to talk about the ones that I actually picked, the Native American books, and then I'll talk about the ones that were randomized from my TBR list. So the first one is Theyre by Tommy Orange, and it is about these people, different people who are struggling with their own things. And they're all Native American, because it's a Native American book. But they're all struggling with their own things, and it's basically about their culture, how close they are to it, or how they struggle with things differently because they're brown or because they were raised on a reservation. And it's basically just about the real life struggles that they face. And it's going to be very hard hitting, and I know I'm going to cry, but I'm very excited. The next one is Johnny Appleseed by Joshua Whitehead, and it is about Johnny, who leaves the reservation and becomes a cyber sex worker, I believe. And after a while of doing that, they have to go back to the res because I think their stepfather dies. There's a funeral happening, so they have to go back, and I believe the book is about the lead up to that and them kind of having to face what they're going to go back to and who they are and what it means to them. At least that's what I got from the synopsis, and I find it very interesting because, again, it's like the struggles that they're going to face being Native American and having grown up in that culture. So the third one is Split Tooth by Tanya Tegek. It is about a girl who becomes pregnant, and she then, living on the reservation, has to kind of face what that means. She knows about the world of like alcoholism. She knows just how tough things are, and I think there's also some sort of like myth involved. She has to kind of face that and just the dangers or the questions or basically how she's going to navigate it all. And I liked a part at the end of the synopsis where it says haunting, brooding, exhilarating, and tender all at once. And that's exciting. So I think it's going to be a little bit different than the first 2. It's obviously going to still facing the struggles, but with like the myth aspect, I'm not sure if it's going to be like actually supernatural or they're just going to talk about the myths of the tribe or of Native Americans or what, but that part of it is definitely interesting. Okay, so the 4th one I'm very excited about. It's not my favorite. The 5th one is the one that I'm most excited about, but this one is my second. So the 3rd one is The Maro Thieves by Cherie Dimaline. And this one, okay, it's not so much realistic, but I feel like in an alternate universe it could be. So basically, Native people are being hunted down and their marrow, like their bone marrow, is being stolen because Native people are the only ones that can dream in this world, and the answer to dreaming is in their bone marrow. So that's basically what the story is them being hunted because of this. And it sounds so interesting, right? Like, I'm invested already. Also, I've noted that I say excited and interesting / interested in every one of my videos. I need more synonyms, sisters. I'm sorry, I do. But it does, right? It sounds fun, fresh maybe. But that one I might read first just because it's a little bit out of the ordinary. Okay, this last one, the one that inspired me to make this, is called Moon of the Crested Snow by Wabgishik Rice. This one, okay, so this one is kind of like scary / paranormal / is that the right word? Kayla from Books and Lala read this and loved it, and she described it as kind of a very slow horror haunting thing. I don't know, let me just just read the synopsis and get back to you. Okay, so basically this tribe on this reservation loses power. And in that, an unexpected visitor, as is in the synopsis, comes, and basically people are running out of food, people are getting really sick, they don't know what to do. There's also this unexpected visitor, and I think that's part of the paranormal, which I don't know if it's like a ghost or if it's a person doing this. I'm very excited to read this one, especially since it takes place in the snow. I mean, I hope so. It has snow in the title. Am I stupid? Yep, with winter looming. I was right. It's after midnight. You can't come for me. But I just love books that take place when it's cool or cold outside. That's just my thing. So after those 5 books, I randomly picked the next ones, and half of the 5, that's 2. Okay, half the 5, I don't know what they're about, but I hope that when I read the synopsis, I actually still like it, and I don't regret putting it on there. So the first one is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, and I actually just put this on here today, and I did like a 0.3 second run over of the synopsis. I actually added it to my TBR because of a booktuber, so let's actually read what it's about. Okay, so it looks like for New Year's, a group of friends who, I think it said they're in their 30s, literally just read it, can't remember. I think it says that they're in their 30s, and they go to this very remote place in Scotland to just kind of hang out, enjoy, reminiscing, and catching up, and enjoying the New Year's, right? So they're in this remote, isolated location, which is always great. I love that. And it's winter. What did I just say? Like, I guess tensions rise the more they talk, or like, do secrets come out? I don't know. Tensions are rising, and then by morning, one of them is dead. So one of these friends is a killer. That's very excited. That's very excited. Listen, the cold brew I have here, it's not working. I need to talk to Mr. Starbucks immediately. Anyway, I don't know if there's like a hunting element, like the friend that's the killer starts to hunt the rest of them, because that's the title, right? Or did the friend plan on doing this and that's what it means? I don't know. So the next randomly picked book is called Again Again by E. Lockhart. I've read one E. Lockhart book, and it was We Were Liars, and I cried and I loved it. So if I like this one, I'm probably just going to end up reading all of her backlog. But this one is about a girl who faces a near-death experience, and after she comes out of it, she just wants to live life. And so the book is about her falling in and out of love, and I'm sure there's going to be heartbreak, and I'm sure my little baby heart is going to cry a bunch. But that's essentially what it is her just creating these memories and figuring out what it means to love someone, which it sounds real cheesy, you know. I just went from The Hunting Party where people are dead, and now it's this, but I feel like that's actually perfect, even though it was like randomly chosen, because it's gonna give me a little bit of a break, maybe a little bit. Okay, so the next book is called The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. So this one is about this girl who turns 25, and she ends up getting a letter, and the letter is about who she is, or it's basically saying like, hey, there's this huge house and now you've inherited it, please come. Please come to the house that is yours now. So she goes there, and I guess it's just her unlocking all of her family secrets. And in the synopsis it says that 25 years ago, which she just turned 25, so could it be her? 25 years ago, police were called to a house, and they found 3 people dead downstairs, all wearing black with a weird like note, and they found a crying little baby, or 10-month-old baby, in its crib, and the rest of the children were gone completely. So I've gotten mixed reviews from people that have actually read it, but just from that alone, I'm sold. I'm ready to start it now, ready to buy it, ready to go full force. Okay, so the 4th book that was randomly chosen was called Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. It is basically about these girls on an island, which again, the best. Anything with like woods or isolation or islands, I'm sold. I'm already there, say less. So this is about these girls, and there are like stories or myths about this just horrible monster, and there's these girls that go missing, and all over the years, it's not just happening now. They go missing over the years, and I'm assuming that these Sawkill girls either go missing or they try to figure out what's happening, something like that. Also, monsters are like anything supernatural. Like, these books, I love Past Me. I love Past Me for watching hours and hours of booktube videos. I'm just plucking out the good ones. I have been let down a couple times from the books that I've chosen for myself, or that I've let myself believe I'd love. But I have high hopes for this list. And with that, we're on to the last one that I have. So this book is called The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. And I think I recently also added this one. This is about a woman in the Victorian era, and she's just gotten married, and she's pregnant, and her husband dies. So after their wedding, I think it's a couple weeks after the wedding that he dies, and she is pregnant. And so she has to now live by herself in his mansion with all of his servants and try to just figure everything out. You know, it's her brand new life, and she's a widow. So come to find out, there's this secret / locked / nobody enters room that she enters, and it's a doll that looks like her. Weird, right? So there's this doll, and nobody enters the room, or they're scared of it, or something like that. It's just not a room that people go into. So she sees this doll that looks like her, and come to find out, the doll's eyes follow her. So it's basically a Victorian ghost story, but it has a doll in it, and it freaks me out. I'm sorry, I will not lie to you. It's weird and creepy. Actually, if I do get through all 10 of these books and I end on The Silent Companions, if I have more time in the month, I don't think I'm going to read anymore, because these are also taxing and jarring, and to end on something, if it is scary, because it might not be, to end on something that is so scary, can I handle it? Can my blood pressure as a 24-year-old go through it when I drink 10 shots of espresso every day? Maybe. You let me know. So with that long-winded explanation, probably horribly, of the books that I'm going to read this month, that's it. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.